Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you will be doing well at your respective places. While enjoying the lectures, enjoying the online lectures on different subjects which you have been offered by university in the second phase of the online courses, and hope this will complete your semester before September, and if the things move in positive way, then we will hope that we will take regular classes as usual in university. Now coming to the second part of the lecture on business law, and the topic was bailment and pledge, and we have started discussing bailment, and we know that bailment has been derived from a French word which is bailer, and which means to deliver goods by the owner to another person for some specific purpose. You know that the specific purpose is very much here, and it should be kept in mind that we are giving goods to someone, to second or third party for some specific purpose that we have discussed in the previous lecture. And then there are two parties. One is bailer, the owner of the goods, and the bailee, to whom the goods have been delivered for some specific purpose. And the example is very simple. You purchased a three-piece suit for yourself, or waistcoat and shalwar kameez cloth, and you give it to the tailor that he makes a shalwar kameez suit and a waistcoat for you, and a three-piece suit. Now you are owner of the cloth. You delivered that clothes to the tailor as bailer, while the tailor in this contract is bailee. He will use those clothes for some purpose, that is to convert that raw material to a finished product, that is a full-fledged three-piece suit and shalwar kameez and a nice waistcoat you will wear on different occasions, and since you will enjoy wearing your clothes. So boys, coming to today's lecture, while in the contract there is bailer and bailee, so definitely when there is a contract there are two parties, and both parties have some rights and some duties which they must obey for the performance of the contract. Now coming to the second slide, boys and girls, duties of bailer. What are the duties of bailer? Disclosure of fault. If the bailer, the owner of goods, know that his the thing which he is giving to the bailee for some purpose has some fault, it should be disclosed before delivering the goods to him. If he does not disclose them, then there is breach of contract. and for that breach the bailee can sue the bailor. For example, A lends a horse to B. A knows that the horse is vicious but does not inform B. The horse runs away and B is thrown off and injured. A is liable for damages. Damages payment caused by one party to another party, or the misconduct of one party to the other party. The person who misconducted he has been asked for damages by the court, and the court decides what is the appropriate amount. Okay, boys, coming to the next, payment of expenses. In a gratuitous bailment, the bailor must repay all ordinary expenses incurred by the bailee for the purpose of bailment. In gratuitous and non-gratuitous bailment, the bailor must repay extraordinary expenses incurred by the bailee. For example, she delivers a horse to B for safe custody without charges. B spends Rs 200 Rs $200 on feeding the horse. She is liable to pay the Rs 200 or 2000 or whatever the amount he spent from the bailor. So payment must be given to the bailee by the bailor. This is duty of the bailor, because bailee has kept something for bailor for some purpose, and he incurred some expenses while taking care of the goods of the bailor. Compensation on termination. When the contract is terminated. In a gratuitous bailment, the bailor can terminate the bailment before the specified time. As a result of termination of bailment, if the bailee suffers a loss which exceeds the benefit enjoyed by him, the bailor is liable to compensate the bailee for such loss. For example, bailor give his machinery to a construction company for 1 year, and the bailee used it for 6 months, and after 6 months the bailor asked him that I need the machine and I want to terminate the contract, and please give the machine, let's say that is excavator or bulldozer, back to me. Then he can terminate the contract. But if the benefit is less than for what the bailee paid to bailor, then the bailor must return the extra amount to the bailee, and they can only terminate the contract on mutual consent. Otherwise, bailor unilaterally cannot terminate the bailment contract. Compensation for defective title. Title, you know, that means that the ownership right, the legal right of a person to use a thing as it belongs to that specific person. If you have a car and you purchased it from Toyota Motors, Toyota Motor will transfer its ownership to you, to Mr. X, and then give possession to him. That is a complete selling his two parts: legal title transfer and possession of the actual good. Now, if you have a driver, a friend, he used your car and then he sells your car to someone else, and he is possession of the car, but he is not actually the owner, so he has defective title to the car and or anything else. So on finding the defective title, the the bailee can return the car to Mr. X, and then he can ask for damages, and even criminal proceedings can be proceeded against that specific person who purchased Mr. X car from his friend Y, and Y defectively sold that car to let's say Z. Z and X both can sue Y for fraud, for a misuse of a trust, breach of trust. All these things can be initiated against Y in court of law, and the court then can recover the original thing and damages from Y for both the persons X and Y. Recovery of goods. A bailer must receive the goods when the bailee returns them after accomplishing the purpose of bailment. If the bailer refuses to receive the goods, he must repay all necessary expenses which the bailee has incurred for safe custody of goods. Now, let's say Mr. X has excavators, and he give that excavators to SKJ, a construction company. There are 10 excavators. Now, the contract of bailment is for 1 year, and after 1 year, the owner must take possession back from the construction company. Now, the construction company informed him that our contract has expired. We for whatever purpose we take your bulldozers or excavators on a contract of bailment, you must take them back. But now the owner refuses, or he does not, by one way the other way, take back the excavators, and the excavators are in the godown of SKJ company, and they incur some cost on its maintenance and other things, while these costs have been incurred after the expiry of the contract period, so they will be recovered from the original owner. That is, the bailee recover that from the bailer. Now, going to the next slide, that is, once we discuss, now we will discuss the rights. What are the rights of bailer? We have discussed duties. Now coming to the rights. Recovery of damages. The bailer can recover damages from the bailee. A bailer has the right to recover damages caused to the goods from the bailee if he has not taken reasonable care of the goods. Reasonable care means that you provide some heavy machinery to XKB company, a construction company, and they didn't take reasonable care, i.e. maintenance and other requirements needed for keeping the quality of the goods. So if the goods are in a bad condition, then whatever deterioration caused to the goods by the bailee, that will be recovered from the bailee by the bailer, because the bailer actually owns the goods. Now, as the goods are belong to the bailer, he can terminate the contract of bailment, but on certain conditions. His contracts and agreements are not easily revoked by either party once made in a proper way. A bailer has the right to terminate the bailment if the bailee does not act which is against the terms of the contract through the period of bailment has not expired or purpose of bailment has not been accomplished. If the bailee does not take care of the heavy machinery of the bailer, then the bailer can terminate the contract with the bailee before the actual time of expiry of bailment contract, and even can recover damages, as we have studied in the previous. Unauthorized use: the bailee has to use the goods given to him by the bailer for the specific use which is in the contract. Let's say you give a car to someone that he can to your friend, that you can use it while going to Kalam or northern areas for some sort of tour. Then he, instead of using the car himself, is uses as a taxi. Then you can even terminate. You can even ask him that he should give back the car to you, but even terminate the contract with him. Mixture of goods: if the boys, we have some problems with the machines. Okay, the next point is mixture of goods. If the bailee, without consent of the bailer, mixes his own goods with the bailer goods, he is responsible for separation. If the goods cannot be separated, the bailer has the right to claim compensation from the bailee. That the bailer give, let's say, grains, some fruits of a specific quality to the bailee, and he asks him that you should keep them in your godown for a certain period, and the bailee mixes his goods and the bailer goods, and now he cannot differentiate between the two. The bailer can ask for damages. Next is demand of goods. In gratuitous bailment, the bailer can demand the return of goods at any time before the specific period. A bailer has the right to demand the goods when the purpose of bailment is accomplished or the time of bailment expires. If the bailee makes default in returning the goods according to the bailer's directions, the bailer is entitled to claim compensation. Again and again in this contract, we see that the bailee has to take very much care of the bailer's goods, whatever is reasonable care in sensible world are the established norms for that. If he is not doing that, he can demand a return of goods. Demand of increase. A bailer is entitled to claim any increase or profit which may have accrued from the goods. If there is some increase in value of the goods while the goods are with the bailee, he should return that increase in the goods. For example, a bailer give a cow to a bailee for 6 months. Now the cow has given a calf. Now it has increased the value of the cow, so he should return that increase, that is calf of the cow, to the bailer. I hope you understand the topics you are moving with me. Now boys, coming to the next point, suit against third party. If third party has if a third person wrongfully deprives the bailee of the use or possession of the goods bailed or cause any damage to the goods, the bailer or bailee may sue the third party. Third party has nothing to do with the contract of bailer and bailee. If they interfere and they cause some damages to the goods or any harm to the bailee or bailer, both of them have a legal right to sue him court of law and do proceedings against that third party as the law directs. Okay boys, I hope you understand till this point. We discussed duties and rights of bailer. Now we will move to duties and rights of the bailee. They are two coins of the same the contract of bailment. One is bailer, the other is bailee, and both of them have rights and duties. We have discussed rights of and duties of bailer. Now we will discuss duty of bailee. Recovery of damages. The bailee can recover damages. A bailee must take care of the goods as an ordinary sensible person takes care of his own goods. If the bailee does not take care of the goods and they are damaged, he is responsible for the loss, and the bailer can recover damages from the bailee. From the bailee. The next point is unauthorized use. A bailee must use the goods according to the terms of the contract of bailment. Any unauthorized use will jeopardize the contract between the bailer and bailee, and he may pay damages for the unauthorized use to the bailer. Mixing of goods, as I have told you, mixing of goods is against breach of contract. It is against the spirit of the contract or agreement between the bailer and bailee. If a bailee must not mix his own goods with the bailer's goods without his consent. If the goods are separable, the bailee must bear the expenses of separation. If the goods are not separable, the bailee is liable to compensate the bailer for loss. Okay, you understand that the contracts have very strict rules, strict parameters. When goods transferred to the bailee for a specific purpose and he mixed those goods with his own good, he has to separate them and incur the cost of separating. But if they are unseparatable, then he will pay full damages that may be more than the actual price of goods he received from the bailer. Return of goods. After he used the goods for a specific purpose, he must return the goods to the bailer. For example, you give clothes to the tailor and he made a suit from it. Now the bailee must return the finished product, that is a three-piece suit, to the bailer. Next point is return of increase. Any increase in the goods transferred by the bailer to the bailee should be returned to the bailer, as the goods title, legal ownerships belongs to the bailer, not the bailee. He has been given the goods for a certain period for a specific purpose. Once the purpose is accomplished, time expires, the goods increase. Is a previous example, a cow, X give a cow to Y, and while the cow was in Y custody, it gives it produce a calf. Now the bailee should return that calf with along the original cow to Mr. X, the bailer. Now coming to the Next slide. Rights of Bailey. What are rights? Claim of damages. If, for example, in a gratuitous bailment, a bailee has right to claim damages arising from the faults if the bailer does not disclose such faults known to him to the bailee. While you are giving something, some goods or machinery to the bailee, you should disclose the faults. And if you doesn't disclose the faults in that goods, the bailee can claim damages. He even can break the contract, can move out of the contract of bailment, and you have to accept his terms and conditions. The bailer should come in terms with the bailee. Recover of expenses. While the bailee takes some goods for the bailer and he incurred some expenses, let's say that is car, and the car is with the bailee, and he kept the car for the bailer for some time. Now whatever the maintenance cost, it should be bared by the bailer in return to the bailee as expenses incurred on the maintenance of car for bailer. Right of indemnity. If bailer give machinery or any other thing to bailee, then the bailee is indemnified for any loss or damage in that good, if that damage is not intentional. It should be kept in mind that the loss should not be intentional. If it's intentional, then he cannot recover the loss. Recovery of loss. Any loss caused to bailee while keeping the goods for bailer. Now he is keeping the goods for bailer for some purpose, and for any loss to the goods, the bailee is responsible to the bailer to return the goods or compensate the bailer for the loss caused to his goods while the goods were in custody of the bailee. Delivery of goods. When the bailee entered into a contract with the bailer, then the bailer must give possession of the goods to the bailee. This should be kept in mind. Oh my lord. Right of lien. The term lien means the right to retain possession of the goods of another person until he pays the charges. A bailee has the right to retain the goods until his charges are not paid. If the bailee does not complete the work within the agreed time, he is not entitled to any lien. For example, A gives his horse to B, and he for its maintenance, regular maintenance, he incurs some money on it. That money will be returned by the bailer to bailee. But if the contract expires and he doesn't return the horse to the bailer, and then he incurs some expenses, that those will not be given to the bailee as the time has expired. Suit against any third party. If a third party, uh, let's say, if a bailee has the right to sue a third party who wrongfully deprives the bailee of the possession of the goods or causes damage to the goods, the bailier as well as the bailee can sue the third party in respect of such goods. Very self-explanatory, boys. Now coming to the last part of the today's lecture on bailment, expiry of time. How the bailment contract is terminated. It is for a specific time. When that time expires, the contract of bailment comes to an end. Accomplishment of purpose. If before time the purpose of the bailment is accomplished by the bailee, then the bailee must return the goods to the bailer. Unauthorized use. The goods are given to the bailee for some specific purpose, but the bailee used them for some other use which is not agreed in the contract of bailment between the parties. Then in such case the contract of bailment will come to an end. On death of either bailee or bailer, termination by bailer. Bailer himself terminates the contracts, but he must compensate then bailee for the remaining part, which the bailee has right to use bailer products within that time. Destruction of the subject matter. The thing which the bailer gives to bailee is destroyed by earthquake or by fire or anything else. Then the contract comes to an end. Hope you understand today's lecture in the live session on MS Teams. I hope you will thoroughly study it. You have books, you have the written material, and you can go to some other sites and come up with some challenging queries that will generate a very good discussion in the live session, and will help all the participants to increase their understanding of the technical terms we discussed in the contract of bailment. Thank you students, stay safe and blessed. See you in the live session. Khuda Hafiz.